Peace, chiefs, and deers. It's Bronzebird Chieftain, formerly known as Brownbird, here with another video. Before I begin, please like and subscribe. So before I get into this video, yes, I do realize now, and you guys obviously realize that I've changed my name to Bronzebird. This is only for visibility purposes in order for people to be able to connect with me more. And you know, so far you guys just understand that, and I will still be putting out videos the same way I have done before as Brownbird, but now as Bronzebird. So getting into this, I was doing a couple of researching around. It came to my attention the famous rapper named Bobby Shmurda from the GS9 gang in Brooklyn has been let out the other day. And now they're big throwing in this welcome home party, these welcome home celebrations. And it's not the fact of the matter that I'm upset about it. I'm very level headed to it. He's been locked up for about 7 years. And my thing about it is, this is the thing that I'm talking about with degenerates. Now, I could be judging him very harshly. Maybe he will get out the gang lifestyle. Maybe he will make different types of music. Maybe he won't hold up the whole entire thing about being a do or die GS9 member. I have no idea. The reason why I decided to make him a topic of conversation today, especially when we're in this whole entire thing, besides COVID, about the whole entire thing that's going on with recent things like someone like Tekashi 6ix9ine, who's constantly getting into fights and getting into beefs with other Chicago gangs and people online chasing clout and starting drama with people like Meek Mill, Lil Reese, and a couple of other people wishing death on King Von's name after he died and saying he should have died and all these different things. Don't misquote me. But I make these videos so people can understand we as upstanding so-called black men do not want to be men like this, okay? We don't want to be referred to as men like this. We don't want to be those quote unquote pookies. We don't want to be. You're higher level thinking so-called black men who deserve to have a stake in the game in this society and be honored for the things that we do. I only give celebrations to so-called black men that find themselves getting out of the gang culture, defying the odds, being blurs, from being blurs, investing into stock, Bitcoin, crypto gang, and all these different things. So-called black men that's talking about starting their own business, so-called black men that's getting into nutrition, finding a way to get out of the degenerate lifestyle. Now, with someone like Bobby Shmurda, maybe he might change his life, maybe he might not. Maybe he might not want to get involved in the same old gang stuff he used to get involved in. Maybe he might want to just lay back and cool out. Something tells me, and this is just a prediction, that someone like Bobby Shmurda is going to make music soon. Once he gets settled in, he's probably going to have a welcome back song and all these different things. And do I think he's going to rap about the same old wah-wah? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I did not like the song when it came out in 2014, the hot N-word song. I did not like that song. The reason I didn't like the song is because it promoted nothing but gang violence. Then he made a dance off of it. Oh, the whole entire song, you hear nothing but him talking about how he sold drugs, how he sat up there and got head from some shorty and some broad in the whip, and then all this other stuff that these gang members love to do. We don't honor degenerates around here. And that's what people have to understand. In order for us as so-called black men to be taken seriously in society, we should differentiate ourselves from degenerates, AKA pookies, because they are not men of stature. They are men of destruction. And the only people who should uphold them are fellow garbage people and fellow degenerates. So I'm going to play a couple of videos about him and his welcome home party. And then I'm going to go ahead and have another video stream in about a former so quote unquote pookie who changed his life around because he realized it wasn't working for him. So Pete. This is the first clip right here.
You like, nigga. You like, nigga.
Kiki! Kiki! What's up, baby boy? I miss you, Kiki! Oh my God!
Yeah.
Kiki, you look good. You look good. You look good. You look good. Why you so fat?
Now, I'm not gonna make fun of the fact of the matter, or talk down on him because he first came home, and people's natural reaction is that they happy to see him live and well. I will say, as a so-called black man to a fellow so-called black man, I am happy for him being healthy and good and smiling. I will make it clear right here. I'm happy for him for being able to get out scratch free, and he looks fine and dandy and well, as a so-called black man to a fellow so-called black man. This is the next clip right here. This is them on a private plane, and you have Quavo, who's from the Migos, who decided to go ahead and send out a private jet to pick him up and all these different things. And there was another clip that I'm probably not going to play in this video about someone by the name of Rowdy Rebel, who got a bunch of money stacks from a fellow Migos member and all these different things. Now, will I say it's a bad idea that a so-called black man with money such as Quavo decided to send out a private jet to go see Bobby Shmurda? No, not at all. But I have an understanding that when you have low-level, low-vibrational type of men, they stand around each other. And of course, because negativity gets uplifted first, that is going to be the first thing that a lot of people celebrate, but they're not going to celebrate the so-called black man who decides to own a business and cape for him and have a party for him. And that's that non-shit bullshit song I be talking about.
I've been waiting to see this. Shmurda's on the set. Yo. That's what my daddy locked up in the.
Yeah, man, I get it. You're happy to be on a private plane, all these different things once you become a public figure, especially a so-called black man being exposed to a life you probably wasn't familiar with before. And of course, you get the hottest chicks, you get all the money in the bag and all these different things. And I'm going to make a separate video about vanity in order to stretch out my point. But here's the last video on the Bobby Shmurda thing. So it is the video about Rowdy Rebel who gets a gift from Quavo. And I guess Quavo just seems to be this dude that's just giving out money to everybody. But again, I view it as low vibrational men supporting other low vibrational men, no matter how you put it. Sorry for that.
Talk to them niggas. What they talking about?
Little welcome home kit from a
Yeah. Let me go. Yeah. Come on.
Quick little care pack for the game.
Yeah.
You did what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
You know I love you, bro.
Yeah, my guys hold on. Hey, stop playing. This is going straight to the bank.
I mean, that's cool. If the brother decides to make some type of investment with it, that's what I would like to see, and if he can make a business out of this. Now, the last video is John Gabbana, who was involved with the whole entire degeneracy, being involved with the whole entire I'm a gang this, I'm a gang that, boot gang. I didn't like a lot of these dudes growing up, especially in my 20s, especially with that. Brothers like him decided to understand that he did want to change his life because what he was doing wasn't helping him. There's so many various clips of Boot Gang, aka John Gabbana, who was involved in all these different sprees and scandalous things that was ruining him. Being in interviews, half passed out, having a gun at the interview, passing out because he was liquored up, talking about smoking weed and selling drugs and selling packs and making music. You know, a lot of the days there's a lot of free for all with a lot of these public figures and the people, especially when you get on Vine, and even though Vine isn't as popular, Instagram and all these different things. And, you know, you get a lot of these so-called black men that don't have no direction. What they view is, let me be a degenerate to get my numbers up, and let me do something wild and crazy so that people can pay attention to me and I could be something of stature and value. When in reality, it only makes yourself look like a clown. And I'm glad this brother is going to talk to you for a couple of minutes. I'm not going to play the whole video, but I just want to make this known that each and every so-called black man that's in that degenerate lifestyle has a chance to get out. Now, can I say that everybody's going to make it? Absolutely not. Now, brothers will say, and a lot of people who reference the Bible will say that 2/3 of people will be slaughtered and that not everybody's going to make it. But I make this video again to stress the idea we need to differentiate ourselves from low-level degenerate men, and that we as so-called black men and upstanding men of this society must have an understanding and rules set and standards set saying we will not be looked at as degenerates. We will not be looked at as low-tier garbage-ass men. And this brother, I'm proud of this brother because he got baptized and he found his life with the Most High, AKA Jesus. He found his way, and I'm happy for him, and let his recovery come tenfold.
Shit. It's a lot of people in jail, and
That's right.
they just forget that they're loved. A lot of people facing murder charges or whatever, doing life, and there's just a lot of negative energy in jail. And I just wanted people to just get reminded that they're loved. But when I was singing it full of joy, and I would never forget this. I was singing it full of joy, and I was singing it as loud as I could. Now, I only told probably like 3 people this story. But I'm going to tell all my subscribers and everybody who's following me in the world this story today. So I was singing that story as loud, singing that melody as loud as I could. And I was singing it full of joy. Now, when I was done singing it, I laid down. I laid down to my right side, and I put the blanket over me. And as soon as I laid down, I started crying. Right, as soon as I laid down. And I don't remember why I started crying, but I just felt sad. I felt so sad. And I was laying down on my right arm, bundled up in the cover, and I was just crying. But I wasn't crying for long because I felt the touch. And it wasn't like a hand, it wasn't like a palmed hand, but it was a touch. And it started small. It started real small, but it got bigger.
And you know what that's called, my brother? And to everybody that's on this stream, if you are a spiritual man like me, that's being touched by the Most High. Now, a lot of people may not believe in a spiritual sense, but I do. And the thing about it is, when that happens, you have a calling to change your life around and spread the message to each and every person who deserves the message. That's absolutely what happened. And I am very proud for this brother for taking it upon himself to know that he had a problem and he fixed it. And if he needed God in his life to tell him that, then damn it, that's what he decided to do.
It was so soft. It was so soft. And it felt so comforting.
And that's a beautiful love that the Most High gave to this man, for him to be vulnerable enough to spread this message to the masses. I'm going to play another minute of this video, then I'll make my commentary. We could dip out.
Felt so comforting. And when it was touching me, I just immediately stopped crying. I stopped crying, and I kept my eyes closed. I kept my eyes closed because I knew what was ever tough. I kept my eyes closed because I knew what was touching me was spirit. It was spirit. And I'm in human form, so if I open my eyes, I'm not going to be able to see what was touching me. So I just let it touch me. And I felt I felt good. And then it was there for probably like 5-10 seconds, probably like 10 seconds. Then when it went away, I felt happy. I was so happy. I just started laughing. I was so happy. It was like, I never felt so happy before in my life, just off that touch. And
I'm going to end it right there. I'm very proud for this brother, and I hope that he could have more of a great recovery as he finds himself through the Most High, however it may pan out for him. And again, like, my reasons for making this video is because I am trying to tell people we are trying to fixate ourselves as better so-called Black men. Everybody has their own story. Everybody might have came from the hood. Everybody probably didn't come from the hood. Everybody has their own story that makes them unique. But the point is, because I get irritated by the status quo of the so-called Black men, that we are unfairly judged in this society. And we are made to be the degenerates that you see on screen. Not this brother right here, but the other brothers that you see that make all these songs and make all these statements about how the gang culture is cool and that it's unfair for people who may come from the hood and that might have been raised in the hood, but they never wanted to be associated with the gang lifestyle, as if it's a pressure to be in a gang lifestyle to be cool. And it's not cool. And I always will preach, there is nothing wrong with so-called Black men who dare to be unique, whether you get into STEM research, whether you get into being a blurred and playing video games all day or liking video games, anime, all these different things out here, being a history geek like myself, being into words like myself, all these different things. None of these so-called Black men in 2021 have any excuses. I don't give a damn if COVID is still going on or if it's not going on. For the last couple of years, the so-called Black man has made himself, and a good amount of so-called Black men have made themselves not victims to the society. You don't blame the white man for every single little problem. We have accountability that we're taking action on. That, of course, we had to be held to for the last 50 to 60 years, but it's more of an importance not to victimize yourself as a so-called Black man. Now, I get it. The brothers may not care. In the other clips, they might think, hey, this is my life. I want to party. I want to have a good time. I want to have some badass women, and I want to be able to celebrate being a gang member. But again, brothers like us that's to a higher standard and a higher thinking pattern, it is very important for y'all to differentiate yourselves from those type of men. They are low-level, low-tier men who have the power to change themselves, such as this brother right here, and they can make better choices in what they decide to do. So otherwise than that, I got some more videos coming out. Please remember to like and subscribe from Bronzebird. Like and subscribe. Peace.